Good morning. Welcome back. We are back in Florida. Happy to be home. All right. Welcome back, everyone. Morning. Yeah, skiing. I'm back in one piece, chef. That's right. I accomplished my goal. My goal my goal of this weekend was just don't get hurt. Have a good time, don't get hurt. So I accomplished my goal. It was a good time. Went to Breckenridge, went to Vail, did the front side of Vail, did the back bowls at Vail, which was pretty intense. Blue Sky, it's called like Blue Sky something. I'm sure you guys know what it is. Blue Sky, I don't know if it's Blue Sky Village, but did all three of the mountains at Vail, and Vail was definitely my favorite. That was sweet. Vail was awesome. Vail, I felt, was a better skiing than Breckenridge, personally. But yeah, good time. Nice little break. Nice little break from trading. Nice little break from work. Nice little vacation. And now we're back at it. Back at it, ready to go. Monday morning. Skiing. No snowboarding. All right. So, I'm a hike sore. Yeah, a little bit, Gerald. A little bit, but we'll be all right. We'll be all right. Trading, I don't need to be in my legs today for trading, so that's all that matters. All right, so welcome back, guys. Hope everyone had a good weekend. If you were at Ultra in Miami, hope you had a good time there. I could see a little bit of it from my balcony. I'm sort of happy I wasn't here for it because, God, that must have been loud all night. So if you were there, hope you had a good time. If you had a good weekend, happy to see you guys back here. Hopefully you're having a good morning. So let's get started. Monday morning. Welcome back, guys. Thanks for being here. Let's do it. So first thing we want to be looking at is obviously economic calendar, right? Let's take a look at that Blue Sky Basin. That's it. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mac. Let's go ahead and pull up the economic calendar because that is obviously one of the major things we need to be looking at today. And these ads are correct today. They are correct today because I do need new shoes. And I messed my foot up running with some bad shoes, I think. So these are correct ads for me today. Very nice targeted ads here for you guys to see. Anyways, so this morning, nothing really on the economic side, guys. We got Fed Governor Jefferson speaks at 5 p.m. tonight. So really nothing on the docket here early morning. So that's a good thing, right? We don't have to worry about too much on the economic side this morning. Good to see. Tomorrow morning, you got some trade balance, some retail inventories, wholesale inventories. I don't think nothing major, nothing market moving. So nothing crazy there. Worth an eye, but nothing insane to be watching out for on tomorrow morning. Home price index, a little bit more information on the real estate market. Not that big of a market mover either. Home price, here's your home price index. Consumer confidence. Governor Barr testifies to the Senate on banks. Nothing major, right? All little blips possibly, but nothing that's too big there. Same stuff on Wednesday, home sales and Fed governor testifying again. Thursday, you might get a little bit more. You got GDP at 8:30 on Thursday morning, and then jobless claims. This could be a little bit of a market mover here, GDP on Thursday. So let's watch out for that one. And then Friday of this week, personal income, personal spending, PCE. Consumer sentiment, some more Fed presidents. So it looks like back half of the week starts to heat up. First few days, I don't really think are too big. It looks like Thursday, Friday, economics starts to heat up. All right. So let's keep an eye on that. Nothing major this week, though. No CPI, no FOMC. Still sort of seeing the after effects of all that. Let's go ahead and see. Is there anything on the earnings calendar that I need to be watching this week? Let's pull that up. I don't really think there is, but we can look. All right, so we got some decent ones here. You got Lululemon starting up here, Micron. So some interesting ones there tomorrow after hours. Nothing really here this morning. Restoration Hardware. Nothing major on the economic side either. Maybe you watch Lululemon if you want, but nothing major there. All right. So on both the economic and earnings side, I'm dark. It's that light out there. Oh, well, you're not here to see my face. So nothing major on the economic earnings side, so nothing to really worry about on that stand front. Today, Tesla bullish retest. Definitely watching that today. Hold on. This is annoying me now. Let me let me turn this camera a little bit. There we go. That's better. That was too dark. All right, so Tesla bullish retest. This is definitely something I'm watching today. This is a big pullback to around this 186 level, I think it was. Let me pull it up just to make sure. Yeah, this 186 retest is something that I'm watching. We are bouncing off it already this morning and pushing above 193. But when you zoom out on Tesla, this is looking like a pretty interesting break and retest, something that I am watching today. NVIDIA, AMD, going to watch these. Obviously, NVIDIA, AMD have been monsters. They continue to be. Definitely want to continue to watch these on a daily basis. JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, XLF. Banks are bouncing a little bit this morning. XLF continues to hold a daily demand. JP Morgan's holding the 200 SMA. There might be some opportunities on banks, so I would be watching them today. I'm going to share with you what I'm watching. Meta, big levels on Meta coming up. A big ascending triangle is what you could call it, but a major technical setup setting up on Meta that I want to sort of break down and show you guys what's sort of forming here. There should be a move forming on Meta. All right, it's getting in a really tight wedge, and I think there's a move forming, so definitely watching this one. Google, another one that I'm watching. Netflix, 330, and then Microsoft, 281. All right, so watching those today. Let's go ahead and jump into that schedule. If you guys enjoy the stream, make sure to hit that like button before you head out today. And let's start with the futures. All right. So here's your futures levels on the NASDAQ. And this is the last 3 days of price action. What's apparent, right? What's apparent? It's that you're in a channel, right? This is very apparent. 13,000, 13,000, 13,000. And you are sitting right at it this morning. So can you get bullish today? Early morning? Not really, right? You really can't get bullish here until you're over 13,000, right? We have to respect the channel. That's all we can do in the market, right? I talked to the group about this morning in my morning analysis, right? And basically what I said was, until this channel breaks, we have to continue to trust either side, right? The only reason that we think the channel is going to break is our emotion, right? Our emotion as a trader is the only thing that's telling us like, oh man, I'm going to buy calls here. I'm going to trade this breakout. What's telling you that that's going to happen, right? The only thing telling you that the NASDAQ is going to break out of this channel high is your emotion. It's your greed. It's you trying to guess what happens, right? We can't do that. We have to respect the levels that are on the chart. So for now, very hard to be bullish here because you have a triple top rejection that you are trading right at once again this morning. Of course, the market has been strong. The NASDAQ has been holding up pretty nicely. Tech has definitely been outperforming. So there is maybe a case that we see some more upside. But, right, we got to be careful of that supply high at 13,000. You guys can see my router that I still need furniture for over there. I'll clean that up. So, yeah. We got to watch that. We got to watch that 13,000, right? We got to watch that 13,000 level 1, 2, and 3. Triple top at NASDAQ. Can we go long this morning with the idea of us rejecting 13,000? No. All right, if we go long here too early this morning and we see a big rejection, you're just going to be upset with yourself. You're going to look back at the market. You're going to say, why did I go long with the NASDAQ at supply? Why didn't I wait for the NASDAQ to turn the supply into a new demand? If I was just a little bit more patient today, I could have gotten maybe a nice break and retest of 13,000 for some more upside confirmation. All right, if we see something like this, we start to see a base form here around 13,000. Then we get our upside confirmation, we take our longs, and we get a nice trade. You could be that person, or, right, we could look back and say, why did I go long under 13,000? This was a really clean supply rejection, right? And I got sort of messed up trying to long into this level. We don't want to do that, all right? We don't want to be those people. So 13,000 supply, that's what I'd be watching this morning on the NASDAQ. That's very key, very major. Does it reject? Does it turn into a new demand? That's what I'd be watching this morning on the NASDAQ. To the downside, you got this little intermediary level, sort of like a middle of the line, line in the sand here around this 12,850. It's not a major level, but it looks like the market has respected it a few times. You guys can see sort of this previous low here, some of these previous lows in this general area, little previous high right there, little previous low here, previous highs here, and this morning, a little bit of a bounce off that 12,850 on the NASDAQ. So early morning today, your immediate levels is 13,000 and 12,850. That's your immediate zone to be trading in today. If you break under 12,850, you probably have around this 12.7 area, right? That's really your channel low, down around this 12.7. So what's the NASDAQ doing? It's channel trading. What do we do when the market channels? We respect both sides of the channel. You respect the supply and you respect the demand. If you respected supply here, you made money. If you respected demand here, you made money. If you respected supply here, you made money. If you respected demand here, you made money. If you respected demand again here, you made money. And if you respected supply here, maybe you'll make money again. But we'll have to see what happens today. NASDAQ channel trade 13,000, 12,850, and 12,700 would be the levels that I'm watching today. S&P 500 futures, and then we'll get into the SPY ETF. On this one, we got to go to the 4-hour chart because this thing's a disaster. It really is. The ES is a complete disaster. Look at this price action. This is almost 2 months now, and it's just been nowhere, really. But we can find some small levels within this zone. The big bottom to watch is the 39.50, right? We clearly can see that 39.50 continues to hold, right? This whole area down here, this whole consolidation, this congestion, you can see this 39.50, 39.40, 200 SMA. It's all down here, and it's just continuing to hold. So you can see right here, right? Demand, demand, supply, supply, demand, demand. So most recently, we bounced off that 39.50 level right here. We bounced off the 200 SMA, and we got a nice push over the last, it was really just Friday, right? We fell into that level on Friday, held it on Friday, and just sort of pushed a little bit to the upside. So what do we know right now? We don't really want to short into 39.50, right? So let's be very aware of that. I'm not going to try to short into this green zone here. All right, if we're down here, I'm not looking to short because it has proven to me that demand has held multiple times. All right, so no shorts if we're getting close to 39.50. To the upside, right? To the upside, you got this previous low here, all these previous highs here, right in this 40-20, 40-30 zone, right? This is going to be a tough zone to get above. We've seen multiple rejections here. We've had previous lows here at 40-20 right there, right? We've had previous highs at 40-20 here. We had a rejection here at 40-20. We had a rejection here at 40-20. We had a little bit of a rejection here, got up to that 40-60s, rejection here, 40-20, 40-30, and we're sitting at that level once again. So today, this is going to be a tough little zone on the ES, right? It's going to be a little sloppy, I think. Watching this 40-20 to 40-30 area, if I go to the 5-minute chart, this is sort of what I'm looking at. You guys can see right here. This is Thursday. This is Friday. You can see this 40-20, 40-30 zone. Really, you could probably mark it out to like this 40-40. This entire zone here just is not really somewhere that I'm interested in longing the market. You can see all these previous highs, right? You can see this wick high on Thursday, and you can see that this is sort of trading right back in that supply once again. So if I'm approaching the ES this morning, right, am I gonna go long into these rejection points, into the rejection point on FOMC, into the rejection point on Thursday, and into the rejection point on Friday, and the 50 SMA, right? Am I going to go long into these highs? No, right? That is very difficult to trust a long entry into these highs, which you are sort of trading at right now this morning. So 40, 30, 50 SMA, 40, 40, this whole area up here is just really tough in my opinion. And then that FOMC high is right up there at 40, 70 to watch out for, right? Maybe there's something through this zone today, a little bit of a push through this zone, but just be careful of that 40, 70 up there. That's that FOMC high, that major rejection from Wednesday of last week. All right, so really on the ES, guys, I'd watch, it's a channel once again, but I'd watch the 39.50, 200 SMA demand, and I'd watch this 40, 30, 40, 40 supply today. And yeah, it's just a little bit messy in this channel. It's probably best to wait for something to really set up in the channel. SPY, right? Pretty much the same thing. Here's your SPY. You can see this is the same as the ES we just looked at. 399 to 400. Why would you long it through that level, right? There's just simply no reason. Rejections, 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 rejections. Major rejections on FOMC. Major rejection on Thursday. Why long the market as it pushes into this level? Makes absolutely zero sense. If you go long here under this level, you are simply just hoping that it breaks out, and maybe you get lucky, right? Maybe you get the time where it breaks out, or maybe you are the one that longs here, the one that longs here, right? And then you can see the reaction of longing off this level both Wednesday and Thursday, right? I really don't want to be along and this happens to me, right? There's no reason to expose my account to hoping that hoping for longs into supply. It's very simple to read here, and I hope you guys can sort of get an idea of what I'm talking about, right? We have no interest in longing into this red zone. So 399, 400, watch out for this supply up here. If we reject this level, this could be a very nice fade back to 393. Could be a very nice channel trade back to the downside. That would make a whole lot of sense. So we'll see what happens there. If we go to the hourly chart, we can see it's not just the short-term levels that we're looking at. We have rejections all the way back here, all the way back here, all this 399, 400. Please watch out for this supply today on the SPY. All right. So that's the ES NASDAQ SPY. I hope you guys can get an idea of what we're looking at here, right? It's very clear, right? These levels are very clear. If you can, I think the best trade of the day, if you're just reading technicals, right? If we're just reading technicals today, the best trade of the day could simply be a supply rejection of 399, 400 on the SPY. That could be, that would just be awesome. If the market could be nice and easy for us today, the market's not always that easy. But if the market can be nice and it can be real nice to us today, we'll just start to see some rejections up here, take some puts, and see if this thing can trade back to the channel low, and then we'll call it a day. I doubt it's going to happen that well. If it does, fantastic. You should be well prepared for that. But that could be the nicest. That could be the nicest trade of the day. Just a nice little 399, 400 supply rejection on the SPY. We'll see what happens there. So let's start into some of our individual stocks. We're going to start with Tesla. All right. So Tesla, when I zoom out on Tesla, I can't help but look at this bullish, potentially bullish break and retest here. This looks very nice in my opinion. This 193 level is important, but I really like the look of this little, break of this previous triple high, pullback, little break and retest. It looks like it's sort of flagging here. And I really do like these bottom wicks that continue to show up on Tesla, right? Look at the wicks here, wicking higher, wicking higher, wicking higher off that 20 SMA. This is an interesting chart here, right? And if we go out to the 4-hour chart, you can even see, right? This is also a little break and retest, little flag pattern formation setting up here. I really want it back to this 186, right? It never got back to that 186. It held that 20 SMA. But now, right, now's the important part. What does it do here at this 193? This is going to be key, right? This 193 right here, this is the previous lows, right? 193, 193. All this 193 area is going to be very important today. If I zoom out, you guys can see. Look at what happened in this 193, 190. Really, it's like 194, it looks like. I'm actually going to move this up to 194, to be quite honest, because look at this. right? 194 here, 194 here, and then look at what's happening at 194 this morning. So actually, it's more like 194, right? If we can get over that 194, yeah, look, 194 here as well, right? 194 rejections, 194 rejections. So really the key level today for upside continuation, in my opinion, on Tesla is 194. If you can get above 194 and hold it, maybe you try again for that 200. If you reject 194, then maybe we'll get our retest of 185, and then I'll be even more interested for like a flag breakout. Something like this, right? This is what I really want. All right, I want to see another pullback back to these previous highs, turn that into a new demand, and if that happens, then I'll look to long it off 186. So today on Tesla, I am watching this 194, but I'm also keeping an eye on this longer-term time frame, right? This longer-term setup. That still looks pretty interesting. But again, right, this all goes back to your intraday trading skills. This all goes back to your management as a trader. If Tesla is going higher this morning and it's squeezing higher, right? Let's say Tesla goes up at open, right? 1 minute chart, Tesla's popping straight up, boom, straight up, 196. And you're like, oh God, I need to get in, right? I need to trade Tesla long. No, right? If the NASDAQ is below this 13,000, longing Tesla with the NASDAQ here could be a recipe for disaster, right? So this is why every trade that I take always has to align with the NASDAQ, right? Sure, Apple, Nvidia, Tesla may pop it open, but if you get in because you're like getting a little aggressive at open because Tesla went up and the NASDAQ does this, right, as you're entering your Tesla calls, you're in for a really ugly day, right? So this is why you have to be watching the NASDAQ when you're trading individual stocks. You have to make sure they align, right? Tesla and all the other stocks you trade have to align with the NASDAQ. And to go, in my opinion, to go long anything today, you really need to see a break and hold above 13,000. To be really confident on longs today, you need to see a break and hold over 13,000 to be extremely confident on them. So either way, Tesla, 194, 186. That's what I'm watching today. Keeping an eye on those levels. NVIDIA. NVIDIA has showed us that we cannot short the stock. We definitely cannot short NVIDIA over 264, right? It just doesn't quite work. So you've had previous highs here, right? You've had previous highs here. You've had previous low there. And then in the morning, or yesterday on Friday, or not yesterday, but last week on Friday, you move back into the 194, or I'm sorry, 264, my bad. And look at what happened. So as of right now, NVIDIA is sort of like a no-touch for me. You're in a very clear channel between 275 and 265, 264. You're sitting right in the middle of the channel, literally right in the center of it. So there's no trade here on NVIDIA for me. I would either need to see... I would let me start over. I would either need to see a rejection of 275 or I would need to see a demand hold of 264. Right? I would look for either side there, but with NVIDIA trading right in the center here, I don't see a trade setting up. So either way, I would just watch these channel highs and channel lows, watch this triple top at 274, and then watch this low around 264 and see how the market reacts to those levels. Jay Price, member for 10 months. Thank you, man. Looking forward to the next 10 months. Looking forward to it with you, Jay Price. Appreciate that, my friend. AMD. Similar thing on AMD. Key level to watch today, I think, is around this 98 level. This whole 98, 96 zone is a little bit messy, to be quite honest. Really, like this whole... These ones are tough. These ones are tough because AMD and NVIDIA have just been such beasts. But I'm thinking this entire 96 to 98 level could hold AMD higher. Anywhere within these lows here, right? All these lows here, all this previous consolidation here, all this consolidation here. Really anything above 96, I think could maintain this AMD move. I think the real downside comes in maybe under 93. That's really the only level that I could see where I'm like, okay, this could really cause the downside move, under 93. If I zoom out here, you can see under this low, this 93 low, I think you have that $90 level, right? But until then, I just would not be the first one to short these names, right? AMD and NVIDIA have just continued to hold up. At some point, they will give up, but I do not think that you need to be the first one to this, right? We don't have to be the first ones to these names to make money on them. So, in my opinion, I'd stay out of, AMD shorts until probably a break of 93. Sure, you might be able to play some supply rejections, but they have not been very long lasting, right? If you get a supply rejection, you better be taking profits because they do not last a long time unless something changes. So NVIDIA, I'd watch 264 and 275. AMD, I would just really watch this larger channel, maybe 101 to 93. This is just noise to me. I have no idea how to trade in that. That's just a bunch of noise that I'm probably not going to be involved in. All right, so I want to point out the banks today because these are sort of interesting. Here's the daily chart on the XLF, right? This is the XLF, the financial ETF, right? And you guys can see this is a demand low on the XLF, right? You have this $30 daily demand low that is holding, at least for now, right? And it's up to 31 this morning. So you're getting this little hold here on the hourly chart at this $30 demand. If this $30 demand holds, there could be opportunity on banks here, right? Look what happened the last time the banks hit this level. There was a bounce. Do you think there's a bounce on banks? I don't know. I'm not here to tell you if there is or not. I'm just here to show you the technical levels. And as of right now, the XLF is sitting at a technical level that I would not be opposed to looking for upside, right? The risk reward is there. You cannot battle against risk reward here. Sure, someone might call you an idiot for going long banks, because they're being emotional, because they're trading off because they think they're right about everything in the world, right? Why would you go long banks? They look like shit. Banks are falling apart. That's people just guessing, right? That's not taking trades off technical analysis. In a technical standpoint, this is a fantastic risk reward for upside. Does it work? I don't know, but I'm just here to share, what's showing on the charts because I'm not going to give you opinionated analysis, right? The analysis here is XLF $30 demand. Could be a very nice opportunity. And the other thing that I would be watching with that, right, if we hold that on the XLF, would be this 200 SMA on JP Morgan, right? You guys can see you have this previous high back here at 124, and it's the 200 SMA, which just created a double bottom, right? We just created a double bottom at this previous high on JPM. If the XLF holds that 30 and JPM holds this 124 double bottom, right, you might be able to set yourself up on a nice trade here as well for some risk reward. So I'm not opposed to looking at these, right? You got JPM 124 double bottom at the 200 SMA. You got XLF double bottom at a key daily demand level. It's an interesting watch. Goldman Sachs, I didn't really look at GS much today, but Goldman Sachs is another one that obviously would benefit from an upside move on the XLF. Goldman Sachs a little bit messier, not as clean of a level as JPM. So I'm a little bit more fond of that JPM move because I don't really like where GS is here, sort of just in the middle of nowhere. So I'd probably stay away from GS. It will move with the XLF. But this JP Morgan level around 124 is definitely interesting, and the 200 SMA. Something I'd watch today. Something I'd watch all week, honestly. All right, Meta. Interesting level here. Interesting chart formation. Very, very, a big move is coming, right? We know that. There is a big move coming here. Either this is a big uptrend breakdown, right, back to like this 195, or this is a very big breakout of this 208 and a continuation move out of this ascending triangle. So I would say eyes at 208. I would not be long until 208 turns into a support, right? I would make yourself a nice comfy barrier here. I wouldn't try to push it, right? I want to see 208 hold. That's my thing, right? I want to see 208 hold as support. If this previous high turns into a new support, then I'll look for that long entry. If we break down this uptrend and start to see rejection step in, right, then I'm looking for that downside play, right? If we break this uptrend, if this supply steps up once again, as it did over the last 3 trading days, then I'm looking for that supply rejection. Either way, I think there's a play here. Either way, I'd be focused on Meta. I would look for either that break and retest of 208, or I'd look for this uptrend breakdown and sort of that downside to come in. Of course, market will have to sort of judge that move. Google, I think a big move here as well. Here's why. 4-hour chart on Google. You guys saw that huge move that we got on Google. Big move off that 90. We sort of called this whole trade out. This was sick. Huge supply here, right? Double top back at 108 in the past, and we're back at 108 here. Now look at what Google's doing on the 1-hour chart, right at that 108 supply. You guys can see we're sort of wedging here on Google. 108 supply, downtrend, little uptrend from that 103 demand. Which way does this break, right? Do we break out, hit that 108? Do we break down, hit that 103? I would be watching this area, right? I'd be watching this setup on Google. 4-hour chart, you're sitting right at supply. Could be a nice little supply rejection back to that 103. Either way, interesting watch there. All right. Netflix. What a move on Netflix. Crazy push. Congrats if you caught this one. 330, right? Look at this. 330 right here, 330 right here, 330 right here, and 330 right here. Benjamin, thank you, man. Benjamin Baker, 1999. Thank you very much, my friend. Appreciate that. Hopefully you enjoy the streams. 330, right? Supply, 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 and look at where you're at again today, guys. It's no coincidence. No surprise, right? You're pushed right back into supply, and you can see the rejections that have stepped up on Friday. So this 330 is going to be major on Netflix. Do you break it? Do you turn it into support? If you break this and turn it into support, that could definitely lead to more upside on Netflix, right? This is a big, big level. 4-hour chart, right? Big supply rejections. If you break this, turn it into support, this could lead to more. But you got to watch out for that 330 today and that 50 SMA above. Keep an eye on that level if you are watching Netflix to the long side. All right. Last one I got for you today for me is Microsoft. But we will look into some more names as well. We went through these pretty quick, but some really nice setups. Microsoft, a little bit of a shorter term watch, is at this. Let me zoom out a little bit. A little bit of a shorter term watch, but a very interesting watch here. You guys can see this 281 level on Microsoft, right? Look at all these rejections. It's crazy. Rejection here, 281, 281, 281, 281, 281 on Friday of last week, and we are trading under that 281 again this morning. 281 has rejected Monday of last week, Wednesday of last week, Thursday of last week, and Friday of last week. We have rejected this 281 level 4 out of the 5 days, and if you go back to last week, this is a huge Friday rejection as well. So very clear level to be watching on Microsoft today. If you see 281 rejections, you could try that risk-reward play as well. Right? If you see market downside coming in, if that NASDAQ is rejecting supply, right? If you say, okay, hey, NASDAQ's rejecting supply, let me go ahead and take a look at Microsoft. I can play some puts off this 281 level. If that NASDAQ is rejecting, could be a very nice setup to watch today. Definitely something I'm watching myself. All right. Yeah, Chef, you could watch that Costco over 495. I saw you point that one out. I would say you could watch out for this Amazon as well. This is something I was eyeing this morning. This Amazon hold of 97.50 is pretty big. You guys can see. Look at these. Look at this little double bottom demand that stepped up. That doesn't just happen if this level's not holding up pretty strong. So you can see right here, nice hold here, another hold on Friday of last week. You could watch Amazon off this 97.50, right? You could definitely watch that off the 97.50 here. So you could keep an eye on that one as well, Amazon. Let's go and check out the tickers that you guys want to look at. If you guys could take a second, press the like button for me. Start the week out with maybe 1,000 likes on the stream. That would be awesome. Let's pull up the tickers, see what you guys got for me. Hey, whole bunch of nothing. So I'll take some recommendations. I'll take like maybe five names. You guys are filling it in on the wrong date. right? Today is not the 30th. Today is the 27th. So you got to go ahead and move that over there, right? This over here. We already did Tesla. We're not looking at Bed Bath & Beyond, sorry. We already looked at NVIDIA, Roku, Coin, Square. All right, that's what we're looking at right there. Shop, Roku, Coin, Square, Enphase, TSM. Guys, I don't look at GME. I don't look at AMC. I don't look at Bed Bath & Beyond. You're not going to find help from me here on those names. My recommendation to you is to stop looking at it. All right, so Shopify. Let's take a look. Yeah, Shop over 44 has been a big watch, right? Shop over 44 has been pretty big, except it's really not finding much off of it, right? You guys can see right here, 44 previous supply turning into a new demand. Yeah, I would watch that on Shop, but it's really not doing much. It's very slow here. And look at these supply rejections at 46.50, 47. So, yeah, I don't really love it here, right? You got the previous lows here at 46.50. You got a very clear supply rejection of that. I don't like shopping this little channel. Maybe you could trade the 44 to 46, but as of right now, it just looks to be in a 2-point channel. Don't love it. Roku has done nothing for the last month. I would not trade it. It has literally done nothing for the last month. Coinbase, I mean, it's completely sideways. It's been in this it's been in what is this, like a 5-point range for like a month. You sell it here, right? Very obviously, you buy it down here. You trade the channel. As of right now, your guess is as good as mine. There is nothing here to indicate anything, guys. You're literally just sitting in the middle of a channel. You have to wait for stocks to get to key levels. All right, I hope some people are starting to realize this. You have to wait for stocks to hit key levels before taking trades. You can't just take trades in a single day because it's a 1 minute break. It's like a 1 minute, I like this and I'm going to trade the downside off this 5-minute line. All right, zoom out. Make sure you're paying attention to where these stocks are when you zoom out, right? We look at the 4-hour chart here on Coin. It is in a complete shit show of an area, right? Look at this. So we don't want to be taking something like that. When we look at something like Microsoft, right, and we zoom out, we go to the hourly chart, we can say, hey, right, look at this. Microsoft is at this previous quadruple top. Maybe I can set something up off that. Or let's say we go to a stock like Apple, right? Apple sitting at a previous major top up here around this 160. Maybe I can take a trade off that. But when I look at a stock like Coin and I zoom out to the hourly chart, it's just sort of stuck in this nothingness. So I would stay away from stuff like that. Square. I mean, I know they had like a short, someone, what is it, Heisen, who put out a short report on them? Someone put out a short report. I would wait for the dust to settle, guys. I'm not going to trade something that just got a short report. I don't like any of this. Enphase. Maybe you can watch this rejection of 200. That's what I'd watch on Enphase. This looks like a decent potential setup on Enphase. Look to see if Enphase can turn 200 into rejections here. Previous lows, major 200 psych level. Does Enphase turn 200 into rejections? That's what I'd watch. 4-hour chart, TSM. Yeah, TSM just supply rejected that 95 again, right? Very clear. Previous lows, 95 rejection. I would look for support to step in here at this 91, right? You guys can see right here. Previous lows, right? Previous double top highs. I'd watch for support to step in on like a pullback to 91 on TSM. All right. that's all that I got today. Let's go back to the NASDAQ real quick. Let's review the NASDAQ, ES, and SPY before we head out. Very clear levels today, guys. We can't go long under 13,000 on NASDAQ, and we can't go short if we're starting to trade back into the 12,850, back into the 12,700, right? I would look for one of two things today. I'd look for supply rejections of 13,000, or I'd look for break and holds above 13,000. That's really what I'm looking for today. I think we'll probably test this high. What happens at this high is what I'm watching. Do we do a supply rejection? Do I look for shorts off of it? Or do we break and hold above? Right? And I would be watching, for the downside, I'd be watching 12,850 demand and 12,700 demand. On the ES, it's very clear, right? 40.40 looks to be that level. Previous highs. 40.40. You have this 40, 30, 50 SMA as well. Very clear supply there. We are not going long into supply on the ES. And we are not going long into a triple top on the SPY between 399 and 400. Right? Look to see if this rejects, or look to see if this turns into new demand. FedEx, I'll do it just for you, Chris. FedEx had a little bit of a push. What is that, off earnings? Yeah, I mean, break and retest maybe, Chris, around this 215 area. You could look for that. Looks like you'd want to see it hold 215, though. Right? You definitely want to see 215 hold on. But I don't know, Chris. It's like, I don't know, like this area. I don't really know what FedEx is going to do as it trades in this area. Look at this. Look at this mess. Right? If we go long FedEx, how do we know what it's going to do between 220 and 235? Like, how do we read that? We just can't. So I'd be careful here. Maybe look for that break and retest at 215. Yeah, that's what I would, if you're going to play it, that's what I'd look for. That's that 215 break and retest. It has to hold 215, though. If it breaks that, it's coming lower. All right. Hope you guys have a fantastic day. Hope you have a fantastic Monday. Thank you guys for starting your week here with the live stream. If you guys do enjoy the live streams, make sure to press that like button before you head out. Subscribe to the channel for more live streams every single morning starting at 8 a.m. If you want to get my technical levels on a daily basis, you can check those out. You can scan that QR code right there. You'll get my a link to my technical levels. So everything we looked at today in the live stream, you can get in a text format for, I think it's like $4.99 right now, $4.99 a month. And if you want to trade live with me every day, you can press that link down below that says live trading, and you can join that. If you join the Discord H2O, you probably joined the wrong one. If you joined, right, this is what I'll give you a quick look at what this all looks like. This is the chart Discord. This is $4.99. You cannot talk in this community, right? All this is looking at the levels, right? So every morning, $4.99 a month. Every morning you get futures levels, which we look at here, and you get technical levels on every single stock that we look at on a daily basis. There's no talking. There's no live trading. This is simply just technical levels, right? This is where the live stream ticker is. This is where you get access to that. This is where the after-hour private streams are, right? That's just technical levels. The other one is our main Discord community where you can say hello to everyone here. Luca, how you doing? And this is the big boy. This is where we trade live every day and etc. So if you have any interest, feel free down below. If not, totally fine. Come hang out in the live streams every single day. All right. Thank you guys again, and I will see you tomorrow. Looks like we got some supply at 700 on the likes, but I'll let it slide. I don't want to get anyone too mad for asking for the like button today. I know some people got upset on Friday. So thanks again, guys. Have a great day, and I will see you tomorrow. Peace out.
Yeah.